You guys ready?
Yeah. Go for it.
And... Hey! Hello, lovely scribblers, and happy Thursday, not Monday. I don't stream on Mondays.
I know.
That would be
Yeah,
weird.
that sounds very confused about that.
No, every day's a Monday in quarantine.
Oh,
Oh
God.
no. Oh no.
Cancelled.
So, stop! Can we COVID cancelled. No, don't cancel me. Please don't cancel me. I'll be sad.
No one would ever do that. Don't worry.
You say that, but I'm gonna come out with some hot takes about tea or something.
Or infusions.
As long as you keep the fire
Or
gates appeased, you'll be alright.
infusions and, fruit jam. I don't know. Okay, well here's the thing. Hot take, chili jam. What the heck?
Chili jam?
Chili
Jam?
jam.
Wait, hold on. Here's my hot take about jam. Jam should
chili
only
jam.
be made of fruits.
Chilies are fruits.
Chili? It's a
Chili
The
jam
seeds
is
are
a
on the
thing.
inside. Chili peppers, those are fruits.
Hmm. Yeah, they are.
I'm looking this up.
Yes,
Yeah, they are.
they are, just like
That's true.
tomatoes are fruits.
Oh, that's true.
Because I learned that what people think are... That makes no sense. I don't like this fact. And my life has just gotten worse because of it.
Drak is just canceled.
Oh no! Cancel
Well-
chili peppers.
Sweet chili jam, for sure. Sweet chili jam would be nice.
You can put chili. Okay, so putting like chilies in with mango in like
Yeah,
a
I've
fruit
heard
salad
that.
kind of thing, that
I've heard
is
of that.
Yeah.
delicious.
Lush.
So what
Yeah,
I'm
really
saying is chili jam. It's weird. It's a weird kind of thing. It's hot chilies made into a sweet jam, like a spreadable jelly kind of thing,
Yeah, that's
which
that's
we don't
good.
really have in the US. At least not that I was aware of. I didn't come into contact with this until I moved here. And I didn't even really know about it until I saw that Uncle Roger video about fried rice. And I can't remember the chef's name, but putting like chili jam in his fried rice. Like to give it like some heat and sweetness.
Yeah.
Like that is so British. England, what you doing to your fried rice? You don't know. There's a time and a place for chili jam. Chili jam tastes pretty good on eggs. It tastes good on toast. You can put it in different things, but don't put it in your fried rice. What the heck? Hot takes. Cancelled.
Well, I guess Scribbles over party. Let's start the
No.
hashtag real quick. Let's get it trending.
That's the stream. Bye, everyone. Hello, Fleetfoot Whack. Welcome. You are hashtag first. On this last stream on Scriv the Bard.
Yep. Screw
Oh no! Oh, well, I guess I'll have a lot more free time. Hey, anyone want a controversial guest on their streams? I'll be back under a new name. I'll be
You do like a 5-minute
Screw.
apology. 5-minute
With the
apology
beard.
video.
Yeah, a 5
Leave
minute
for like a
not
week
It
or
won't
two.
even be 5 minutes. It's like, I'm sorry if you got upset at something I said.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's like
I'm
you have to
sorry
start,
if
you
you
have to
sorry
start
if
like
you
this.
were
This is the
offended
formula. Every
by
apology video
my
starts off
chili
with
jam hot takes.
every apology video starts off with if you usually wear makeup, you don't wear makeup in that video. You start off the video with a sigh like and then
Yeah.
you go into explaining why you did your thing, how you're young and ignorant and naive.
And how you're sorry that everyone else got offended.
Like I would never do that. You should know me. You can go through my content. I would never say
You
such a
know,
thing.
we've been friends for a long time, you guys. And I try to be real with you. When you see me here at Scriv the Bard, you see the real Scriv. And you know that I love each and every one of you. But I still think chili jam is weird as heck and does not go in fried rice. Thank you. Goodbye.
Wow.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry.
Perfect.
But again,
Perfect.
I like it on my eggs. And on toast. But not Weetabix.
Oh god.
Cancel
Okay, then.
Weetabix.
How many of our members can we get canceled tonight?
Oh
Let's go.
no. Oh no. Alright, so yeah, anyway, how is everyone? Welcome to episode 6, chapter 1, episode 6 of Heroes of Iyastera. I'm very curious to see what you guys end up doing next. Do you guys remember what you did last time?
Marlowe's all better.
Yep. Just about.
And that's all that really matters, right? One day you
Yeah.
guys will start taking
Okay.
notes. I just got really blurry and out of focus there. Oh gosh, the canceling has started. My own camera.
You're being erased
You're
from
in
this
debt.
My
timeline.
own
We're in
camera.
text cancelling. Yes,
Yeah, one day you guys will
discovered
start
many
taking
things.
notes.
I don't feel so good.
Oh, no! Guys, I feel a little woozy.
I just want to really quickly, real quick, just a reference to that.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there was a theory that the reason why, because no one else like felt themselves disappear, they just kind of happened, except for
Yeah.
Peter
Yeah.
Parker. And people say because his spider sense was tingling throughout the whole thing, they could feel so it basically sensed that something is very wrong. I don't feel so good, and then he just disappeared. So like he had to go through the anxiety of knowing what's about to happen.
That's
for those few
traumatizing.
seconds.
Like,
That's
also,
traumatizing.
Peter exists in like a multiverse.
That's true.
I mean,
That
technically
was just one of
everyone
the
does.
Spidey lives. One of the
Technically,
9
everyone
Spidey
does,
lives.
Yes.
in a way that like Deadpool does,
Um,
but not that extreme.
yeah, not like that extreme.
Transcendent.
Like Deadpool's aware of the multiverse.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
technically in the comics, everyone's aware of the multiverse, but in the movies, I don't think anyone is,
Yeah.
except for maybe Doctor Strange. probably.
Well, Squirrel Girl.
Oh yeah, but Squirrel Girl is not in the movies. Yeah.
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 Yet.
I mean, yes, yeah. I'm pretty sure Disney owns pretty much everything about Marvel at this point.
Yeah,
so I think
yeah.
they probably could.
Disney owns everything.
That Squirrel Girl's imminent. I
Pretty
think.
much. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
And She-Hulk apparently. She-Hulk was the first. Okay, random fact. She-Hulk was the first fourth wall breaker in the Marvel universe.
Really?
Deadpool came afterwards. Yep, and then they dulled it down after. I don't know why. It was great though. She-Hulk was really really cool. But
What
yeah, she was
was
the
the
first fourth wall
wall-breaking
breaker.
moment?
Oh no, it was just her thing. Like the way Deadpool
Yeah.
breaks the fourth wall,
Mm-hmm.
She-Hulk would break the fourth wall just constantly. She'll talk directly to the reader, often.
Interesting.
I
Like
love
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then I don't know why, but they stopped doing that in the more recent comics.
Have you seen Enola Holmes?
No,
No-
not
yes.
yet. I know there's
Yes,
a
it
lot
was
of
really
wall
good.
breaking there too, though.
It's so
Yeah.
like quaint and charming that
Mm.
she
Yeah.
like will like just turn to you and be like,
I love that. Even if they don't say anything, just when they look at the camera and go,
yeah, and they're just like,
it's like, you're seeing this,
I love it
right?
when people react to it as well. Like my favorite is like the reason why I love Deadpool doing this because people it's like in universe, like it's actually happening. People
What are you
react to
doing?
like,
like, what's
who are you
happening
talking
right
at?
now?
Who are you talking
Bro,
to?
what? What?
There's a great example in the Dora the Explorer live action movie where she she does something in the cartoon where she looks at the screen.
Yeah.
Goes,
Oh,
can you
wait.
say delicioso? She's sitting there eating breakfast and like stares into space and goes, can you say delicioso? And the
No
parents
way.
are like, what
What?
the
I need
heck?
to watch that.
I have
I
not
need to
seen
watch
this
Find the
movie
clip
yet.
And I'll send it to you.
I've heard of it.
It's
Oh,
so
I've
good.
heard of it, but I
that's
haven't watched
funny.
it.
Watch party.
It's actually a pretty decent movie. I watched it with my sister a couple of months ago. It's
I've
so
heard
good.
that as well. Yeah.
Watch party.
I'd be down to watch that.
Yeah.
We should definitely do that.
Amazing.
It's great. We'll watch again.
I need lots of tea while we're watching that one. No, you guys know I drink beer.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
been mentioned on
Scriv,
the stream.
you?
Griff?
Not tonight.
You?
Tonight I have some wonderful Lady Grey. Lady Grey.
Cancelled. Lady Grey for D&D
Cancelled.
stream. Cancelled.
unbelievable.
What should I drink for a D&D stream if not something with a little bit of caffeine? That rhymed. I'm proud of that.
Oh.
Rhyming on a D&D stream?
In this day and age, in this economy. What were we talking about? The session.
Oh yeah, we're playing D&D today.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
We are.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
are. What?
Oh.
That's the thing. That's the thing. No, that's okay. So, I do have our recap, and perhaps we can go through that and then cut
Yeah.
to the opening song, the opening video, and then we'll go right into
Yes, get into
character,
it.
into the
Get into it.
scene. But first, everyone, just for the audience's sake as well, the party did level up to level 4 at the end of last session, so we are officially level 4 now, and hopefully continuing to climb. But if you remember, last session, you picked up at the end of your battle with the wraiths at the Mother Tree. So Marlowe, you reawakened from being knocked unconscious, you were healed, and you all realized that these strange frostbitten effects had not yet left Marlowe, in spite of being healed. You hurried back to the Vervain's home. I need some better music for this. Hold up. Where is it? Ah, yes. Otherworldly.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good track for this one. So you hurried back to the Vervain's home to see if Emil Vervain, the healer, can help Marlowe. But as you began your return journey, Marlowe saw more wraiths approaching. Unbeknownst to the others, she saw the wraiths approach the tree and scatter into shining motes to be absorbed into the trunk, into the bark, into the branches. With this, some of the leaves actually began to regain some of their natural color, and just a bit of the frost began to melt. Far too little, however, to really trigger enough of a change to put the tree back to normal. And this was your first kind of clue into what these wraiths actually were. What is their purpose? Why are they here, speeding throughout the Glenforan forest as they are? So you continue your journey. Marlowe shares this information with you, of course. And you return to the Vervains just in time. And Arlai, Lady Vervain, brings you all to a spare room so Emil can heal Marlowe. And you learn that if you had waited any longer, the healing would have been much more extensive, much more difficult and complex, as in the case of Oscar Goodsong, who is still unconscious in one of the other guest rooms within the Vervain's home, still under the grip of this frostblight you now know it as. As Marlowe recovered, Kendis and Baum began researching everything they could about springs and the Mother Tree, and you learned a few interesting things. You learned that whatever is happening now could be a self-defense reaction with these wraiths on the part of the spring and the Guardian itself. You learned that Elena, the current Guardian, has somehow progressed to a more critical state of integration with the spring, with the Mother Tree, something which should not have occurred for several decades at least. Something spurred this on. You don't quite know what. And at this point, we got a new follower. Hello, Mac of the DM. Thank you for the new follow. But at this point, Baum, you remembered a memory was triggered from back when you were still at the Mother Tree, all of you. And you cast your sensing, you cast your consciousness into this tree to commune with it as the timbersmith that you are. And you remember feeling some sort of sharpness, some sort of pain emanating, radiating from deep within the root system of the tree. And as you were learning more and more about the history of this spring in particular, the Glenfarren Library is naturally internally focused. You wonder if maybe you need to check that out a little bit further. I think that was one of the last things that you all had discussed before the session ended. Meanwhile, while all of this is happening, Eorad, you attempted to calm your stress and unease with this whole situation by venturing out on a scouting mission, going back to those original skills, that role that you fulfilled back in the Athenium in Yokul. And in some ways it brought you a little bit of peace, having some sort of purpose, something to do. You mentioned that you're not really one for research, but you're someone of action. So you were quickly joined by Marlowe, who, having mostly recovered, already was bored with sitting in a quiet room.
So you ventured out to see how many wraiths may still be wandering the forest, seeking new life and points of energy to absorb and leech away before speeding back to the mother tree. Having unveiled all of this new knowledge, you all dispersed for the evening. Baum, Eorad, and Marlowe to the Knotless cabin, and Kendis to their treehouse. Each of you began your nightly routine, contemplating the events of the past several days, meditating, thinking, what could this problem be? What could be causing all of this? We ended with Kendis using their oracle cards, seeking reassurance.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lens. Hang on.
And with dinner. What does Hedgewitch have for dinner?
You're welcome, my dear.
I love that you guys get little glimpses into our lives as well.
Yeah.
Throughout the stream. So last episode, we ended with Kendis using their oracle cards, seeking reassurance and guidance from the natural world. Kendis, you received signs of healing and of hope, and, rather ominously, of cycles which must end so that new stories may begin.
Mhm.
And that is where we will begin tonight's story. So we'll go into the opening.
Woo!
I use her.
Okay. Ignoring the slight technical difficulties that I always seem to have.
Like every time, but I'm like, I don't know. I think it's just.
It's part of the charm. It's part of the
Charming.
Okay,
charm.
that's exactly it. You can't go a session without a technical difficulties. It's its own it's its own character at this point, you know. People
Oh
be like,
my
where are the
goodness.
technical difficulties?
It's
Yeah,
an
I'm not
NPC.
using this anymore.
Oh
It's
no.
an NPC.
It's our fourth wall breaking
The
NPC.
computer goblins. The
Yep.
stream monkeys. Remember the stream monkeys? Oh goodness.
It's the digital Turpig version of having trouble scheduling D&D games.
Oh, that's
An extension of that because you solved the
Yeah.
problem with scheduling the
That's
games.
good.
I think it still exists,
Sir,
but like,
sir.
I like
yeah.
that. Okay.
Right. Focus now. Focus.
Each time we want to use that opening as a reset to try and focus, and it just never works. But it's okay. It's
Literally
part of our
never.
charm. We're charming. Okay.
Sure are. have you
So.
seen us?
Oh dear. So, you have all gone to rest for the evening. In the early hours of morning, Eorad, you don't sleep, right?
Yeah.
You are meditating, perhaps getting some fresh air, seeking to feel that connection to your astral companion, which the others haven't fully learned about yet, but that ever-present, usually comforting presence that is always with you. So in the early hours of morning, just before the stars give way to the rising sun, you feel that familiar presence. The Wanderer. The silent companion which has shared your footsteps for so long. They seem restless. Your meditations last night were not quite as peaceful as you would have liked. Memories and visions of the past few days have been swirling through your mind like a storm. These things that you're learning are not really aligning with the things that you had studied before you left the Athenaeum. And with that in your mind, another memory rose to the surface unbidden. Memories of some of your days at the Athenaeum. You remember sitting in a library alcove with Tashi, the half-elf researcher that you befriended, your confidant, and in many ways, a guardian to you. You would often meet like this, to hide away from the more senior mages who were taking too much interest in, well, Tashi liked to call them your quirks. They wanted to teach you of the outside world. They were very, very insistent on this, but you wouldn't learn why until much later. So this memory, as you're sitting there, your meditation finally bearing some sort of fruit. In this memory, you remember Tashi very vividly, eyes shining in the lantern light as you're sitting in that library. Eorad, this part is important. Do you know why the Athenaeum is here in Yokul?
Oh, I don't think I do.
Because the magic here is the strongest. Stronger than in any other kingdom. But we don't know why. In all of my years of research, we don't know why. Other kingdoms, Monair, Tashkil, even Ila, they have concentrations of magic, but on a much smaller scale. It's more dispersed, fragmented. Scattered across the realm with these sources that are called springs. If a spring is strong enough, it can shape the environment, the ecosystem around it. Sometimes you can feel it. Can you?
I'm not sure.
Eorad, I think that you're different, special. Because of this, somehow. I wonder if that's what happened to you. Why you might be different from the other Warforged. Your very composition is that of the earth, of the ore within the bones and the mountains. None of the other guardians or sentinels have the same form as you. None of them are aware as you are. I think whatever is powering you, whatever caused you to awaken like this, I think it's the same sort of energy that powers those springs. And that is where the memory fades. And you are left alone with your thoughts as the new day begins.
He just kind of sits there I'll say like he kind of slumps a little bit in his like meditative pose and just he doesn't need to breathe, but I guess it's more like habitual being around people who do, but lets out like a almost robotic kind of sigh.
Heavy sigh.
Bomb kind of stretches from his kind of like oaken bed, and he kind of walks in and sees Marlowe, and he's like, Marlowe, I'm not used to spending time with these upper crust folks, these elves. I think it's about time I had one of these famed baths you talk about. How does one go about this ritual?
Marlowe's eyes kind of light up.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I imagine that Marlowe's gathered like herbs, like the best smelling ones she could find, in place of like soaps. Because of course he probably doesn't have those.
No chance.
Just cinnamon.
Yeah, just
And
cinnamon.
acorns.
She's got that too. She's gathered cinnamon too. It's just crushed up cinnamon. She's figured out how to make some sort of a like.
Bath bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bath bomb! Introducing a new line of Iyastera products.
In a bomb.
Oh my gosh. That
Bath
would be
bomb.
so cool. If each of you had your own like signature scent
Merchandise.
and like for each of the characters of like a bath bomb or something. I don't know. That's
Citrus
cool.
Sentinel.
That's
Eorad
cool.
would be the Citrus
Hey,
Sentinel.
if we get 10 more subs, maybe we'll make this happen. Subs that I don't donate.
Yeah.
And I wonder how the spring water will feel. I have my doubts. It will clean me. May make me worse.
You and me both.
But I shall try, for the sake of cleanliness and, like I said, spending time with folks who probably notice my smell.
Notice?
Who notices it? Well, you do have that little contraption, though.
Yeah, that I
that
gifted
Marlowe-
you.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It helps.
I shall use that, but after a bath, I shall see if it does the trick, and I shall meet you outside in a few minutes.
I will say that after all of your time at sea, Marlowe, and Eorad, you would have learned this as well. Sailors are pretty stanky. So I think that you would have found ways to make do with a few different materials and things. You're more of a tinkerer versus an alchemist.
I'm crafty though.
But you are very, very crafty. Would you have tried to craft like homemade soaps and things since being here? You've been here for a few weeks now. Maybe with the help of Kendis. Kendis may have helped you with that.
Yep.
Maybe. I mean, birds don't really have very developed olfactory glands, so I don't know how useful Kendis would be.
Exactly, and Eorad doesn't need to
Does
breathe.
Kendis-
He just chooses not
Does
to.
Kendis take bird baths?
I was just about to ask
Oh
that.
my gosh!
Do you have a little
yes, and, like,
rooftop bird bath?
a little stone thing, and just like they just like flutter in it, to, like yes.
Yeah, just
The whirring wings and everything. That is the cutest
exactly what
thing.
happens.
Oh, that's adorable.
Brilliant.
Someone make art
But
of
yeah,
this.
it makes a lot of sense that Kendis kind of easily hangs around Bomb because they can't really smell them very well.
it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
So
doesn't
it's
need to
just-
breathe,
it's just
so you can
Marlowe
choose
then.
not to smell.
Marlowe
Oh,
gets
yeah,
the full
exactly.
I
brush.
was the
Yeah.
only one who has to deal with it.
Yeah.
I think Eorad
Everyone's
can
like, I
snore,
don't
but he just
understand.
decides to not. I think Eorad can snore, but he decides not to. He can just turn it off, kind of thing. It's like
just
not need to
out.
do it anymore.
I love it.
Deactivate
but
sensors.
Bomb. The reason that Bomb said this is because he has noticed people crinkling and
In
slightly
town, yes.
turning. Like their body language is a little bit. He thinks it's maybe starting to affect his interactions.
It's
Aralai
affecting
did
your
not
sales.
seem to want to stand too close to you when you were at the Vervain's home.
Noticed. Yeah, I noticed all of them. Slightly
Aw.
distancing. He doesn't want that, He's got low enough charisma as it is.
Oh.
I wonder if
But
taking
he's
a bath,
wise enough. He's wise enough to know
Very
to change his
wise.
ways.
yeah, maybe
his
a
mother's
bath
told
will
him to
help
anyway.
your charisma.
Maybe.
That's
Can't
one thing,
hurt,
charisma.
can't-
I'm injecting way too much into this.
Yeah. So he jumps in and he waits for for privacy, and then jumps in with the changed spring water, and partly he's partly to get cleanliness into his life, but also maybe as a slight experiment with the water, see what he's like when he submerges with it.
Okay.
So he's doing a sort of an investigation, I would say.
Okay. I mean, you might need a few baths. How much is caked on? Does it just kind of
Over
turn
the
into like
years.
this muddy water first?
Oh yeah.
I'm almost thinking of the spirit in Spirited Away.
And threw it away.
The river
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stink spirit. Yeah.
Cute.
Just his beard alone, it's just
Yeah.
it just fills the water with a
Oh
strange
my. Oh
yeah.
my.
hue, brown hue.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's little sort of insects and stuff on the surface of the water.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
They seem very put out.
Yeah,
They've decided to
I
kind of
submerge
scoop-
their
I kind of
home
scoop
in
them.
water.
I kind of scoop them and put them
They
on the side.
understand. They understand. You get the sense of like, really? After all these years, now you bathe.
There's like plants growing in your beard.
Oh yeah, 100%. Everything.
Oh,
The whole
so
works.
you
and from my ears as well.
you will all have noticed this. Bomb, and you don't know if this is something that is a shared trait amongst all the timbersmiths, but there are certain things about Bomb. You know Bomb's a druid, but you think that sometimes, depending on how he's standing in the forest, it would seem like he could be part tree himself. There are definitely little sprouts of greenery and leaves and tiny little tendrils of vines that you don't know if are growing from like seeds that were embedded in there with the soil and in the hair, in the beard, or if they're growing from Bomb himself. You don't really know, and I don't know if any of you have really asked yet. But that's a thing.
I feel like maybe we thought it was like rude to ask
Probably.
where
Oh
these
my
plants
gosh.
are coming from.
You don't just ask
Yeah.
why there are vines sprouting from someone's.
You don't ask a man about his vines. Come on.
You just don't.
Oh my.
You just don't.
So while that's happening, are you expecting something in particular with this? The water feels strange to you. I will say that. I mean, you would know best when the last time Bomb has maybe had some sort of a bath. You've felt rain before. But there is something soothing about this. About being submerged in water. It feels comforting. A little bit weightless, even. The tub's not that big. But as a Firbolg, of course, you can, to some degree, adjust your size.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sort of shrink yourself down a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it does remind you of that lake. And how life could have started, this whole forest could have started in that
comforting embrace of the water and the lake. Just sort of contemplating that.
Mm. Yeah, that's enough for me. That's good. I'm feeling that.
Marlowe, probably go outside. Eorad, what are you doing?
I think Eorad is probably still just sitting outside, probably beside the door of the house we're at, and I think he's just sitting. I think he's just sitting there like poking at the ground at this point. He's just and like mumbling to himself, like not to himself, mumbling to the presence that is always seems to be with him, and just goes, "Is everything okay? Why do you seem restless?" And it's kind of like asking those kind of questions under his breath, and it's like, did you remember what I remembered? And just stuff like that. Trying to see if he can get a vibe, or at least an idea of what might be making this extension of himself seem so unsettled, maybe.
You feel... Are you doing this kind of deliberate... It sounds like you're doing it deliberately.
Yeah.
You're deliberately trying to connect. Go ahead and roll a wisdom check for me. Just straight wisdom.
Okay. This is great, because I
First
recently got
roll
my
of
first
the
ever...
night.
Yeah, I got my first ever dice tray. And
What? Show us your dice tray.
Let's see it.
Really?
Oh, is
Oh
it
my
a
gosh.
wormwood?
yeah, it's wormwoods.
Oh! Is that the Purple Heart one? Oh,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
I got it because I'm in a Realm of the Frost Maiden campaign, and
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, so pretty.
Yeah, but we also use roll 20, so I never actually got to roll with it. So this is going to be my first roll.
Oh.
Oh boy. Right here on Iyastera.
That's a pretty good roll, especially with my wisdom. Wisdom, you said.
Yeah,
That's
just straight wisdom.
18.
Very good, very good. You feel in some ways constrained, uneasy, as if you're bracing for something. And the Wanderer, you can sort of sense how the Wanderer moves in relation to the stars and just your presence on this plane. Feels strong. A pretty strong connection. And it's felt a little bit stronger over the past couple of days, ever since, well, with the proximity to the spring. You feel this pulling northwards. You feel this desire to travel north.
What direction is the spring?
Guess.
North, okay. Just to make sure. Okay. I think Eorad just kind of mumbles under his breath, like just nods and goes, we'll head over there, but with everyone. I just don't know if I can go on my own. We nearly lost someone when we were together.
It's good to exercise caution. So that is how you find Eorad, Marlowe. And Kendis,
Just
I will leave it
poking
up
at
to
the
you
ground.
when you think you would reconvene. It seems like the Knotless cabin is sort of the initial meeting place for the group.
Yeah, I'm going to assume Kendis, fresh out of their bird bath, hops over,
Yes.
flutters into the window, like, good morning.
Except you're giant. You're like bigger compared to
Yeah.
normal birds. So I'm imagining you fluttering into the window like, hey! But Marlowe, yes.
So I would just see Eorad just poking at the ground and like speaking to no one in particular.
Yeah.
So probably I would sit a little bit away to like give him privacy to talk to whoever this is. But just kind of sit. Just keep him company while he's doing whatever that is.
Roll a perception check for me. Because Eorad is pretty deep in thought right now.
That is 30-20.
Nice. Eorad doesn't notice this. But you spy one of the squirrels that lives in the trees nearby slowly start to creep down on one of the branches and looking at Eorad, just munching away at a nut, a little acorn. Because you remember how when Eorad was meditating over the past few weeks that he developed this weird kind of kinship with squirrels somehow?
Yeah.
And it seems like this one is trying to come to say hello.
It's like his little stone squirrel that I carved.
Yeah, right.
You know, Eorad, I think once he like I guess gets that answer from the Wanderer, he'll probably like gradually like come out of his thought and just like probably like keeps drawing, poking on the ground, and then like notices that Marlowe's there and just kind of
Marlowe's probably brought out like some like tea and has just been sipping it.
and he just turns
Like Baby Yoda.
Yeah, yeah.
Good morning, Marlowe. How are you
Morning.
feeling?
Better than I have been.
That's honestly really good to hear. I think we were all really worried, actually.
Has the squirrel come down any further?
Yes. And it looks like it's attracted by the way the sun is shining off of Eorad's like metallic
shiny
dome. Absolutely. And it's doing that thing that squirrels do where they kind of hang off of a branch. They're kind of like, it's about to fall. It's like moments away from like jumping Eorad.
You seem to have attracted a friend there.
Oh. And he'll just turn and look. And go, oh.
Just drops down right on you. Because when you turned, you kind of startled it.
Okay. I'm gonna Ao's gonna like catch the squirrel. Like he's gonna catch them.
You're gonna catch the squirrel if you can? That sounds like a
roll.
roll.
Not like grab them, not like stop them from running, but like if they drop, he wants to stop them from like hitting the ground, basically.
Okay. I won't make you roll for that one. But the squirrel, it lets out this squeal that you haven't heard these squirrels make before because you're quite tall, right? As you look up, just it dives down, or rather falls out of the branch. You kind of catch it, and right as it makes contact, before you could try to like hold on to it or put it down, it just immediately starts scrambling. Like tiny little claws, like scrambling against your metal skin and just kind of squirreling.
It's okay.
That's the only word I can think of. It's just going around your arms, and all of a sudden it just kind of like sits right on your shoulder, like still holding the acorn.
Hello there. I'm Eorad. And everyone's gonna like try and like just gently like go to scratch it behind the move away.
It darts to your other shoulder.
Oh, okay. No touching. I'll make sure to ask for consent next time. I'm sorry about that. Mr. Squirrel, may I pet you?
It offers you the acorn.
Oh.
It's gonna take it and goes, Mr. Squirrel, I really appreciate it, but I'm a warforged. I don't need to eat.
Just looking at you very expectantly.
Perhaps he thinks you're in that cracker.
oh, okay. And he's gonna put his mouth and like try and crack the nut and go and then just like when it's cracked, hand it like back to the squirrel.
Takes it back, inspects it a little bit, and gives it back to you. Like,
Yep.
He's just gonna try to. Even I'm confused. He goes, okay. He's gonna take a bite, it's a little like a little nibble of it,
yeah.
and then hand it back.
As soon as you start eating it, it seems happy. Like the little
Okay.
tail starts. I don't know if squirrels wag their tails, but you know the way squirrel
one
tails
does.
kind of move.
This
They just
one
kind of like,
does.
you
This
know,
one does, yeah.
wiggle.
It's gonna be like, thank you. That was very delicious. You can have the rest though. And he's gonna hand it. He hands it back to the squirrel after
Okay.
a little nibble.
Sniff, sniff. Grabs it, darts to the other shoulder again, and just starts eating.
Oh. Our friend Bomb has decided to partake in a bath today.
Wait, really? Wait, how? Why? I mean,
Why?
We-
stopped smelling
I-
him after a few days, but he seemed pretty
Oh,
fine.
if only I were as fortunate.
Did you convince him to?
I only just woke up, and what a good morning it was.
Is he okay?
You know, I didn't think to ask. I'm sure he's fine.
I mean,
Kendis. Good morning.
Good morning.
Kendis seems chipper today.
The momentous occasion. Bomb's
Bomb's
third
first
year
bath.
I love the idea, I love the idea that Kendis just sensed the movement in the like there was
Oh,
a
yeah.
sense in the force.
There's a
Just
disturbance.
knew that Bomb just took a bath. Like, what? This is a good day.
There's something different about the ecosystem today.
My bath bomb senses were tingling.
It is a new
As
moon
soon as I
tonight.
possibly could.
Oh, it is a new moon tonight, actually.
It is a new moon.
Ooh, ooh.
The,
Kendis sensed the new moon.
Exactly.
Bomb kind of opens the door to the bathroom. The newly
There's a window.
installed bathroom.
There's a window there as well. I'm sure.
Marlowe manifested this on a new moon.
And he looks very different. He's got his beard in a plait, and
What?
he's
Bob knows how to braid.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He knows all that stuff. He's put his best tunic on.
Oh.
He's looking about as possible, about as well turned out as he can.
Well, don't you look dashing this morning,
Thank you.
Timbersmith?
has
Marlowe
wits.
takes like a.
I'm okay.
Right, there's no possible way that Bomb would smell. His natural odor would overwhelm any bath products, but it might go some way to alleviating the smell.
Now, instead of smelling kind of smelly, it's more earthy.
Like mulch. Instead of smelling like compost and mulch.
Yeah, more like fresh earth and tree now versus
Compost.
mulch and compost.
Yep.
You look good.
Oh, thank you, my friend. I do feel good.
How do you?
I-
Yeah. How was being in the spring?
I don't know. For all my worries, I actually felt very relaxed and comforted by the water. I don't know if it was the actual act of bathing or whether it's something beyond that. But I certainly did not feel any concern from the actual water.
That's good to know at least. Was there a chance that there would have been something wrong with the water?
And my instinct is that I will need to bathe many more times before having some attunement to the elements at that level.
Oh, this is gonna be a thing now, isn't it?
Well, that
Bomb
Can't be a bad thing.
bathes. Everywhere you go, he's gonna want a bath.
Definitely.
That's adorable.
I did this more of as a preparation, almost a ritual before we have to tackle the greater concerns ahead.
Yes, that's a good point. What's the plan? Here we've got some info after doing some research. As from like what I understand, it seems like the wraiths are actually like, I guess, the defense mechanism of the spring and of the guardian.
It's very much a possibility, yes. What did you learn, Headwitch?
What did I learn about what? I
About this-
apologize. I
You
was
were
a little
there
distracted.
together.
Yeah, but I couldn't read, could I? I was just looking at the pictures.
Oh wait. Oh wait.
You couldn't.
I couldn't read any of the texts, no. I was trying to pick up the
I
picture
think we did
book.
establish that Bum couldn't read and was just staying by
Oh,
Kendis'
that's
side as a matter of
Moral
courtesy.
support.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I remember that.
I must have forgotten to write that down. Bomb can't read. Oh.
Ironically.
Did you give us solid facts about what we learned last time? Because I thought I'd made some notes, and I'm really sorry. I appear to have lost whatever I
No,
typed
good.
up.
I mean, from what I remember,
I apologize. They're
That
not
is
in
quite all right.
the place that I thought they were in.
Mm-hmm.
from what I remember is that we learned that there seems to be like a what we saw in the woods with the guardian becoming almost like a tree is, I think that does happen when they guardians become really
Yeah.
intertwined with their springs.
Oh, but it's not happened as quickly as this
Yeah.
before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly right.
And the wraiths seem to be like a natural defense mechanism for some, but defending against what we don't know.
Oh, yeah, so we had a sort of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Kendis threw up the sort of virus antibodies analogy,
Yeah,
which might be
that's
a little
right.
loose, but
Yeah.
And I don't know if
Good.
is this above game. I don't know if I figured, because I had an idea like above game, but I don't know if I actually mentioned this as Eorad.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said that maybe these wraiths are trying to, because after I think Marlowe told us about what she saw as well. So I think it's I think Eorad said that in character then that he noticed maybe it's that the wraiths are trying to, they're the defense mechanism of the guardian and the spring, and technically nothing else. As far as they're mindless things that are trying to protect the tree. So in the process, they're trying to revive it by taking from other things in the process. And
Oh, that's
probably-
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and that's what's
Yeah.
sending some things into like an unnatural frost winter.
Right, because
summer.
when Eorad and Marlowe went out, they saw some of the wraiths
yeah,
like touching like
and
plant
taking
life
like
and
basically
stuff.
taking
Yeah.
energy from life and then leaving. Yeah.
So we still don't know what is assailing the spring, do we? We thought it was the race. I mean, I was quite convinced, but but it seems that so that first wraith, with our thinking, is was taking stuff from my cousin's tree, was taking energy from it, and then going to the spring and transferring it to the trunk,
Yeah.
the guardian. Okay, that's interesting. That makes sense now, actually.
So finding a way to communicate with these wraiths is quite possibly.
Rather than sort of like running in there like we're aggressors.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. Perhaps we may have been too hasty in our reactions last time, which is understandable given the confusion. But yes,
Yeah.
some form of damage control, communication building. rebuilding of trust might be apt. If possible, if it's possible to communicate with them. They seem intelligent to an extent, I suppose. Unless they're purely acting on instinct. But it's worth a shot, don't you think?
I believe so.
Definitely.
They display
Yes.
some intelligence at least. You have to be intelligent to transfer energy, surely.
My thoughts as well.
It's not just some manual labour.
And even if they aren't intelligent, maybe you can reach out to the Guardian herself. I think Marlowe said that she got a sense of her inside the tree, or saw her. I'm not sure if she actually saw her, but at least very much got a sense. I'm physically magical, but I'm not magically inclined. Sure. I don't know if that's even a thing that you can do, but it's an idea, maybe.
I feel like an offering to the Guardian would be a good start. I could carve something wonderful for her, send it out in the boat towards the island.
That's a wonderful idea. I'm sure I could also add something to that. Perhaps some of my more decorative artifacts. I'm sure I have a spare tarot deck or two.
Something resembling nature and peace.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Eorad?
We'll still have to take the island is covered, not covered, but surrounded with ice near the closed perimeter. So we could only go so far with the boat anyway. We'd need someone, if we want to give them these offerings, we'll still have to go onto the island and bring it to the tree.
Then we bring it unarmed. We bring it with peace. And if we are wrong, then there's no stopping this anyway.
I don't know. I think the last time we went there, they didn't seem to want to fight us until we started. And
you mean me?
I wanted to use the collective we because we didn't stop you.
It's a new bomb now. That was the unbathed bomb.
Yeah.
This is the bomb who has come to be more in tune with the peace of the water.
I am clear thinking now, yes. No rashness. Certainly no hostility, even though I was trying to protect nature.
Understand.
So I shall get to carving immediately. This does take me a little while. Do you have any suggestions of an image?
An olive branch, perhaps? Or something.
Or her sister.
Do I know any Scriv? Do I know any symbols of peace in Glenfarra, or something that the sister would recognise, and that family, like 100%, very unique to them? Because I've done carvings for their estate, haven't I?
You have.
Mm.
You have. So, aside from the form of a tree itself, trying to think of a singular symbol for the Vervain specifically. Well, one that was kind of chosen by this family itself. Do you remember that carving in the center of the trading post? With the crane outstretched, pointing towards the sky. The crane is a pretty significant animal for the Vervains, for this family. And you know that when things are healthy, that there are often cranes around the lake.
Then I'm going to carve a crane with out of a trunk, a section of trunk, and have a hand feeding it.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm curious if perhaps we should bring her sister.
Mm.
I think that's a good idea, actually. A friendly face is always nice to see.
Surely this would double down our efforts, wouldn't it? It would impact it greatly.
Yeah.
She could even carry the offering, and we could essentially just be there for support. Does everyone think this is a good idea? I shall begin immediately. It won't take me long.
I agree, and I trust your steady hand, Timbersmith.
Yes, if you could add dyes and colours to the carving, that would be wonderful.
Of course. Our first collaboration. How exciting.
Indeed. So Bomb goes off to his little his normal area in the Knotless Woods. It's like a little small glade where he does all his carving, and he sits down with his carving tools and picks one of the cuttings out from the area in the middle, and then he begins work. He's got a very clear image in his head. He's done a crane a number of times.
You have. I mean, cranes are present amongst a lot of the carvings in the Vervain's home. Cranes are known or associated with this sense of intuition and being connected, almost like a guide of some sort between the realms. And that's something that the Vervains have always had some element of throughout the generations.
And using the knife he got from the shipment
Yes.
on their arrival, he's finding it actually very, very quick process, without losing any of the sort of like detail.
As you are using that knife, go ahead and roll. Do a nature check for me.
17, 20.
Natural 20?
No,
Or okay, a natural 20.
unnatural 20. What do you call it, what did you call it, Jen?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
A
okay.
dirty 20.
Diet 20, 20
Yeah.
light.
20 light.
Low fat 20.
Oh man.
Discount 20.
Oh. So you've got your I won't make that joke. You've got your discount 20, yep. You are finding it, as you said, much easier to carve through this specific piece of wood with the aid of this knife. And as you are focusing, because for a timbersmith, the act of carving and creating art can be very meditative in a lot of ways, because you put a lot of your own energy and focus into the piece. As you start carving and you're thinking of the cranes that you've seen by the water's edge in the past, soaring gracefully through the sky, that sort of spiraling, uplifting image and iconography, it's as if the images come more easily to you. And you find that the cuts and the strokes that you make are smoother, as if the knife is meeting very little resistance, carving through this wood. This is probably the best tool that you have ever used. It's as if it's able to take the images in your mind and almost amplify them in your art.
And when I do the hand, each finger represents each of us. So one finger looks like mine, one looks like Eorad's, one looks like the hedge witch's, a feathered end.
That's a really weird looking hand.
Yeah,
That's so cool. I love it. That's
But
Symbolic.
it's cool. I like it.
symbolic, and a Marlowe's at the end.
So there's 4 fingers?
Yeah, and the thumb is of Lady Vivane.
Okay. I'm picturing finger puppets. I'm so sorry. I'm picturing little finger puppets. But I see what you mean, though. And it is beautiful.
Yeah.
The level of detail. This is probably some of your best work. You think?
Yeah, I would feel pride if I wasn't so worried. But like even when I finished it, I'm not quite connected with it the normal way I would be.
Mm-hmm.
It feels more like a necessity rather than a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the rest of you doing while this is happening? While Bomb is carving.
Honestly, I don't think Eorad's doing much, especially after like that not so restful meditation he's had over the night, and so I think he just again he's probably like he's trying to just come across as casual. He's probably like talking a little bit to the squirrel that's now on his shoulder, just making a one-sided conversation, but like he's not. I think his body language makes it kind of clear that he's not really into it. He's just trying to go through the paces.
Marlowe, Kendis, you would probably pick up on this. Eorad trying a little too hard to seem calm. It's like, I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. Squirrel.
Eorad, my boy. What's wrong? Your anxiety is pouring off you like fog on a winter lake.
Nice.
Anxiety. No, I'm fine. I don't know. I feel like we just should. I want to get moving as soon as we can.
I apologize for the screaming child, by the way.
Yeah,
It's the sound of anxiety manifesting.
You seem out of sorts, but
You, suffice to say, you seem restless. Though I know you don't rest. So it's rather peculiar that you seem restless.
I don't rest. Well, I rest, but I don't sleep. I just didn't get much of a rest last night. I think I'm homesick. I miss a friend I had back home. And I just hope they're doing okay.
back in Jakul?
Yeah.
Well, I can certainly relate to that.
Yeah.
I cut most of my ties, but there are still people that I remember fondly.
I'm hoping I don't have to cut ties with this friend. They helped me a lot. I'm just hoping they're okay and maybe I'll get to see them again.
I hope that for you too, but, well, should you return to Jakul, please do pass on many messages, as I will not be returning there in this lifetime. But I understand the loss, and we are here for you if you wish to talk about it. Keeping the memories of those we care about alive is important, and if you want to talk about what's on your mind, we're here for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I think right now we have other things to deal with, so we can shelf that for now. I appreciate you asking, though. Both of you.
Doesn't have a name. That squirrel.
Oh, I don't know. I've been asking, but they haven't told me. Do I give
Perhaps
them a name?
You don't speak squirrel.
that's perhaps Bomb might know a thing or two. He seems adept with nature and the sort.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. I'll ask him if he can ask me when he's done with his work, though. I don't imagine he won't be interrupted. So he kind of looks at the squirrel and is like, "You okay with that? Are you okay with that?"
Scratching. Just like scratching and grooming itself now. Just still on your shoulder.
I think they're okay with that.
Squirrel doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, no, the squirrel doesn't seem to care, but Eorad's reading everything as like, okay, that's an answer, right? Okay, cool, that's an answer.
Yep.
Eorad's like, I think that was a nod.
Yeah.
You see the whale, the way the tail twitched just there? They're happy.
Yeah.
Yes. So you continue to sit and to talk. Kendis very gently prying into Eorad's mental state.
Marlowe changing the subject.
Yeah. In time, Bomb, your carving will look beautiful. And it seems like you're all just kind of waiting to see the final product.
Kendis is gonna mix up. Kendis is gonna mix up some little pigments of paint to add to this.
Some pigments.
And
Marlowe...
plucks out a little feather to add.
Oh, nice. So Marlowe and Eorad, is there anything that you would add to this offering? Anything you would do?
Marlowe pulls out one of the the
I think you're
stone
thinking
marbles.
the same thing. I knew it. I was thinking the exact same thing. Eorad's gonna pull out one of his as well.
What if they made the eyes of the crane? That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm down for that.
This is great. I love it.
Yeah, that's adorable.
So
So
bad.
Cute. Except they're slightly oversized. So
Yeah,
it's like bulging eyes.
And like, Marlowe's is way better than Eorad's. Like, Eorad's spherical, but like, Marlowe's is like a really smooth sphere, and Eorad's like, it was a very good attempt.
It's a little egg-shaped.
Yeah.
A little egg-shaped, which is still good.
He's still very proud of it.
Absolutely, as you should be. As you should be. You never really did any sort of carving or tinkering at the Athenaeum.
If anything, this is like that was the furthest thing from what he did in the Athenaeum. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why he really enjoyed it, because it was not polar opposite, but just very not on the same end of the spectrum of what his role was back then.
Which makes it that much more special. It's not just a creation, but it's one of the first things that you created. With your own hands. Best gifts are homemade ones, everyone.
True.
Okay. So you have your beautifully constructed and thoughtfully
Frankenstein.
and thoughtfully assembled gift now. The gift to the Guardian.
Yeah, I walk back to the companions
Yeah.
and
They insert the eyes and the feather and the paints. Perhaps you all have a hand in painting it. This is the arts and crafts episode.
yes.
Yes, this is so cute.
Montaging.
Yes, I'm imagining a wonderful montage with this. In fact, we need this music for the arts and crafts bit. This is the montage for like little slice of life
Eorad, I see you have
project.
met someone, a little friend there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking quite a liking to them. I think they're taking quite a liking to me as well. But Marlowe made a good point. I don't know their name. I've been trying to ask them, but they haven't said.
I shall.
There's a bunch of squeaks and nibbling of the acorn. I don't really understand.
Let me find out for you.
Okay.
I've got to come
so
up with a
I'll
name
use
for a
that-
squirrel now, don't I?
I'll use Beast Bond, which is my level 1 spell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a concentration. Don't need any components. So I telepathically link to one of the beasts within 10 feet of myself.
Okay. Yep, you are definitely able to get close enough.
Can communicate simple motions and concepts back to me.
Oh, simple concepts and emotions. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do with this beast bond? What do you ask or convey?
Say, are you local to Knotless Woods, or from further afield?
You
Come here often.
come around here?
I was thinking the exact same thing. Coming often.
So, yes. And you get an image in your mind. It's almost from like a squirrel's point of view, though, of sitting in the branches, peering through the leaves at the cabin. And just these flashes, these images of seeing all of you traversing different times of day, different days. But the squirrel's attention always seems to be on this shining figure that seems to be walking around. Who's always sitting outside, meditating, being very calm and peaceful, and the squirrel seems intrigued.
You choose your companions well. Eorad is a good friend. What do you wish of him, if anything?
Acorns. This time of year, with the season getting colder, you know that the squirrels are all trying to gather and prepare for the winter, and to want to share some of the store is quite a thing for a squirrel.
And what do we call you?
You don't get a name, but you get a sense of the snapping of twigs and sunlight shining through the leaves. Conveyed in a series of adorable chirps.
It's called, they're called Sylph. That's the only way I could pronounce it in your tongue.
In your
Well, I
simple
mean-
words.
I mean, above game, I mimicked exactly how Bomb says his name properly.
That's right!
Yeah.
That's right.
So, like,
That's true.
so I'm gonna be like, Eorad's gonna be like, no, please, how do you say it properly? I can.
Right. I shall attempt to replicate.
Perfect.
Let's see if this even works from a voice mod.
Oh.
Did I go through?
A little bit, a little bit. For a little bit of a chirping kind of sound.
We'll just say that he mimics it exactly.
Yes. The squirrel looks at you shocked. Like,
Dad?
kind of does another little scamper around. And then just kind of sits there again. Tail flickering.
I'll try and say your name properly, but if I need to introduce you, I think I will go with Sylph.
Sylph wishes for simply for acorns.
I think I can get you some acorns, I think. Or just, I suppose, nuts in general. Yep. Or do you just prefer acorns? And he's still talking to the.
Yeah.
He's still talking to it like he understands. Like, you prefer acorns? It's like I think we can talk about it later if you don't.
Sylph reaches in. You know how squirrels can like pack a lot in their cheeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Adorable.
There's another little acorn in there. Just starts munching away. offers you a bit, of course.
I don't. Okay. Again, he's gonna do the thing.
This is the cutest thing.
Instead of like actually eating it, he's gonna pretend to eat it. Like, you know how like some
thing
people
where
like,
you like
this...
go to take a drink and then you like toss it behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
just goes like, and then like and hands it back over.
That's the highlight of this episode. Just Eorad and the squirrel.
Yep.
Thank you. That was good. You can have the rest.
So.
But before Bomb stops communicating, he asked one last question. He says,
Okay.
what have you observed from the changes in this place? This place you call home?
You get this feeling of confusion and of cold and of shadows in the forest that seem familiar but different. You get this sense of winter, but it's not flowing the way it usually does. This squirrel is not very well traveled. This is a knotless wood squirrel. They'll travel farther, but especially with it becoming colder, they're gathering, collecting, but then not going too far out from this area. Especially with the strange things going on. Squirrels also don't have the highest intelligence.
No.
That's why when you asked, what do you wish for Eorad, it was just acorns. Just food. Food. What? Food? Yes.
Bob looks down at the carving, and since you've all painted it and dyed bits of it and inserted the marbles, it's just, this is if this doesn't work, then nothing will. This is... You're muted, Drak.
Then let's hope it works.
Yes. Should we go back to the estate then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you return to the Vervain's home. And Emil is kind of sitting by the fire when you enter. At this point, you are welcomed in, of course. Emil looks tired, drained.
Should take a bath.
Hello.
Oh no.
You all look rested.
Who's just gonna tell everyone this?
Oh, I already have. I think I need about a dozen more. How are you? How are you feeling, Marlowe?
Oh, better than I have been, thank you.
Good. I'm still trying to treat Oscar. I think it will take a few more nights at least. What is that? That's beautiful. Is that a new carving?
More of a tool, I suppose. in this case.
What is it for?
We wish to attempt to offer it to the Guardian. A
Peace offering.
Mm.
Of course. Exactly.
We were wondering if Lady Vervain might be around.
Arlai, I think she might be in the library still. You can find her there. As you go into the library, it looks like Arlai has not slept much either.
Mm.
Still looking through books and things. Although now she's looking at a very specific journal entry in one of the books that you know was holding family records. She looks up as you enter. Good morning. Are you preparing to go out to the island again?
Morning. Yeah, and we're actually hoping if you would accompany us.
I can certainly try. Why? What can I do? What use would I be in this?
We're, for lack of better words, we're going to see your sister.
Elena. Anything you need. Yes, I will do what I can. I'm coming with you. Is it safe now?
It should be. We came back in pretty dire straits last time, but that was because we initiated the fight. We're hoping maybe if we come with you and this carving that we will work together on as a peace offering, it would show that at the very least maybe they would let us get close enough without hostility.
Marlowe, you had mentioned that you heard something from my sister before. Or felt something. Do you think she is waking?
I'm not sure. I believe the wraiths may be trying to perhaps revive her, or at least the tree that she's in.
A defensive system then. Well, I can't think of anything better. And from the research that you've done before, I'm at a loss. I'm willing to try anything.
That's exactly our thoughts as well.
The frost will continue to spread. This will continue to get worse. I have a city to think about here. A community, rather.
And us too, Glenfair is my home. I'll do
course.
whatever it takes.
Of course. And I'm grateful for that. Are you ready then? Now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, one moment.
we are prepared.
I'll meet you outside then. So she goes, gathers some things. You go out once again to the banks of the lake. Looking out across the waters, which seem a bit more frosted over, a little colder than when you last saw it, really just yesterday. It seems to still be spreading. Your breath is gathering in those frozen clouds before you a little bit more today. In a few moments' time, Arlai does come back with a heavier cloak, kind of wrapped around her shoulders, and she nods at all of you. Is it okay? Let's go then.
Indeed.
So,
Which is-
as before, I imagine you're taking the boat as far as you can and then walking across the ice.
Mm-hmm.
So who's doing what in this? I assume Aralai is the one carrying the gift?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I've left my dagger on the shore. I stuck it in the ground.
Yes.
Where's the squirrel at?
On my head right now.
The squirrel won't be a bad thing. The squirrel will be an advantage in terms of peace and nature.
Squirrel gives advantage.
Nice.
Squirrel check!
Squirrel
Yes,
rolls.
yes, we'll keep that. The squirrel is not necessarily giving you advantage, but still, never curiously riding
It's not giving
on
you
your shoulder.
disadvantage.
Definitely not giving you disadvantage. Sylph seems curious. This is farther than it typically travels. So you travel across. You see what has now become a more expected sight of the shadows, the rays flitting through the trees on the outskirts, on the edges of this lake, with just a few traveling across the ice. A little bit more than before. I imagine you're not getting too close to them. They seem to be moving out of some sort of unspoken pattern. Just very much making a beeline. Unless you get close enough, they're not really taking much notice of you, or perhaps they just don't care.
That's what Drak suspected.
As you're walking across the waters, getting closer and closer to the island, as your feet tread across the ice, you've left the boat now and you're walking across. Kendis, perhaps you're flying again. You feel a pain shoot through your heel as you set down your right foot. As you're getting closer to the island, just a few feet away at this point. Like the sharp shooting pain up from your heel through your leg as it makes contact with the ice. Just for a few moments, and then it fades.
Is it every step that happens? Is that kind of...
It was as you were getting closer to the island, not every step. It hurts. It feels like something sinking its teeth around your heel.
And I cast bark skin on myself for a start.
Yeah.
So I kind of harden my whole skin, and I hold my hands. Like I put myself in a very open pose. So clearly I'm not armed, and I mean to come in peace. And I'm moving very slowly. I am still moving forward. And I turn to Lady Vervain and give her a quizzical look to see if she's also in pain.
She seems a bit frightened, but very quiet. Doesn't seem to be in pain. Kendis, as you all get closer, you start to feel not necessarily a pain, but a sense of unease. A sense of discomfort as you get closer and closer to the tree. But not necessarily your own sense of discomfort.
Kendis would like to just remind everyone to keep calm, and then realizes that the discomfort may also be coming from the spring, I guess. We come in peace. as cliche as
Come in
cliche
pieces.
cliche as that may be.
So you go up to you have reached the island at this point. It is as you had left it before. You don't see any rays at this moment, but you see in the great trunk of this mother tree, and this tree is huge. You can't see around it. The trunk is just immense. And again, this island isn't just, a naturally, or I mean, it's naturally formed, but it's not a typical island. This is all grown from the tree and the root system itself, the parts of the root system that are not submerged in water, of course. So as you are setting foot on this island and closer to this island, you are walking on tops of the roots and the base of the trunk itself, just overgrown with grasses and moss and greenery, and the soil that has accumulated there over time. Just to give you a better visual of this, if I hadn't said that before. The heart of the tree is still encased in ice.
Lady Vervain, you need to get as close as you can and lay the offering down before your sister.
Do you really think this will work? I hope she can hear me.
It will at least let her know that we're here to help.
Indeed.
So she moves forward, carrying this beautiful carving that you've all worked so hard on. Her eyes closed. And with her eyes closed there, as she moves closer, steadying her breathing, you can see again more of that resemblance between her and Elena, or at least the forms, the shade forms of Elena that you have seen and previously done combat with before the shadows had fallen away. And she kneels there at the base of the tree and holds this gift. Elena, my sister, I don't know if you can hear me, but we're here. We're here to help you. Please just tell us what you need. Nothing yet. A few moments pass. A few more of the shades, the wraiths, start to appear around the edges of this clearing now, and walk up closer. Aralai, either she doesn't see them or she pretends not to. Of course, you all notice. She stands and goes up to try to touch the ice, lay her hand on the ice. And as soon as her hand makes contact, just flat palmed on the crystalline surface, flashes once. She takes a step back, sharp intake of breath, kind of kneels to the ground again, holding her hand to her chest. It's cold. It's cold. She's there. She's in there. She's in the ice, isn't she?
As we suspected.
She's in pain. Why is she in pain? What's causing the pain? She goes up again, and this time the wraiths start to go a bit closer. almost reaching
Eorad,
out for her.
Eorad definitely moves when he sees that they're getting a bit close. Not.
And she just puts both hands on the ice and focuses.
Speak to her, Lady Vervain. Not with words, with feelings.
And as she does so, eyes closed once more, the wraiths, that's a hard word to say, stop moving. Something shifts in the way the branches are positioned high above you. You hear and feel this crackling, this shifting. Lady Vervain, without moving around, without moving to face you, speaks again. But in a voice that's not her own. Strangers. Why are you here? It hurts. Make it stop. The tree is dying.
We want to help. What is hurting you? What is hurting the tree?
It's at the source.
The source.
It's biting. It's stabbing. It's chewing.
Do you mean beneath the lake?
The roots.
We want to help you, but we need more. Tell us everything that you can.
There's something. And Arlai's voice is coming through again more. There's something beneath the tree, at the source of the spring itself. There's something disrupting it. It's causing her pain. It's causing the tree pain. There's a block, a cut, a wound, something.
Infected.
It's in the roots. It's in the roots itself. It's infecting the heart of the tree. I can see it now. This is why Elena must have fused with it so quickly. There's something beneath.
How do we reach it?
You may have to go underwater. You'll have to go into the roots themselves.
Okay. I can do that. I don't need to breathe.
Indeed.
You might be the one best place for this, Eorad,
Out of
if
character.
you're willing.
Does Bomb have wild shape? Or
You don't have wild shape. You can't have any. At this level, you wouldn't have wild shape to turn into anything that flies or swims.
Yeah.
It's like higher levels to do that.
I can choose the
Yeah.
basic one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be a cat again. It doesn't matter who does it. It needs to be done now.
I can go down there and see what I can do. If it's just not an infection, I have a limited ability to heal. I could see if that would be enough.
Just to see what it is, Eorad.
The rays start
What
to
are we
become more
facing here?
restless. And you feel almost a writhing in the roots of the tree itself, as if it's a creature in pain, just beneath your feet. And Eorad, you feel it a little bit more intuitively this time. The Wanderer feels it as well.
Bomb's quite concerned about Lady Vervain. He thinks she might have been under this, and she might have been connected with the tree for too long. So he kind of says, Lady Vervain, it's time to come back.
No. I can hear her. I can feel her in there.
We know what we have to do now. Come back. You may go too far and suffer the same fate.
She won't
As
hurt
the
me.
others
She's
that
my
need
sister.
healing.
She won't hurt me. She's my sister, but she's in pain.
Her voice rises uncharacteristically sharp. Go! Now!
Okay.
And Eorad is gonna just immediately start running towards the edge. Just running towards the edge.
Let's
He doesn't
go!
need to do anything.
Let's
He's
beat
gonna run.
it.
So you run, and you dive into the water.
That's such a good image. That's
It
such a
is.
good image off the side of the island.
It's like an anime cutscene.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
anime.
yeah. Sylph does not come with you
Oh, of
into
course,
the
yeah,
water.
no, yeah.
Right.
but jumps off at the last minute and actually goes over to you, Kendis, and instead is kind of sitting by your feet, almost looking concerned. But Eorad, you run. Alarmed, spurred into action by the urgency in Aralai's voice, you dive in, and the water, it just washes over you. And you dive deep. It is very handy that you don't have to breathe, so I don't have to do like constitution
Yeah.
checks or anything like that. Just cross that little bit out. But roll investigation for me,
Okay.
because what will affect you is the cold.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get it.
As you dive deeper, and as you're rolling investigation, you see around you as you dive through one of the breaks in the ice. The water is startlingly clear, but it is frigid. And as you get closer, deeper into the roots, you see them branching out, almost mirroring the intricate branches of the tree above. It's immense, this root system, as it branches out through the water and then sinks even deeper into the earth at the base of the lake as it spirals out in all directions across to the rest of the forest. I mean, one of those tendrils, we'll say, is easily 3 times your size. One of the smaller tendrils.
I rolled an 18.
An
for
18.
investigation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You don't see anything at first, but as you swim deeper and deeper, because you remember saying that it's at the source. So almost instinctively, almost intuitively at this point, with that kind of roll as well, you start to swim in between the roots to get to this tangled core. Deeper and deeper into the lake, and it is cold. You are not necessarily resistant to cold, are you? Go ahead and
No.
roll a Constitution saving throw then.
Okay. Didn't ring my what's it called? My tune and fork, so I don't have advantage. But I did a roll pretty well anyway. A 17.
Oh, you didn't bring your tuning fork?
I did, but I haven't rung it. I don't know if I can. Can I
Ah,
still do it underwater? I don't think I can really do it underwater.
I don't know. But you rolled a 17?
Yeah.
You feel that cold around you, and you see how it has started to freeze the ice closer to the roots the deeper you go in, wrapping itself around sections of the root system, but it doesn't affect you just yet. As you get closer and closer, you feel something shifting within you, without you necessarily summoning. With this larger piece of frozen ice ahead of you, weaving in through each of the crevices and the tangles and the tendrils, you feel the astral arms come out, almost of their own accord, and they start to swim with you. So you're swimming faster and faster towards this. As you reach this frozen section, the cold is becoming even stronger now, because it's taken you some time. Above ground,
The wraiths have started to mill about and move almost aimlessly as Aralai starts to breathe heavier, her hands still locked on that frozen heart of the tree. Eorad, roll another constitution check for me.
Still pretty good. 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, you resist the cold a bit farther. You peer in through the ice, because we'll go with that same investigation score as before. And you see something embedded within that ice. Perhaps embedded isn't quite the phrase. The ice, it's more as if the ice is emanating and growing from this thing. And deep within, there's this dark structure, this thing. It almost looks like a spider with these sharp hooked legs just piercing, almost biting into parts of the roots themselves. It's hard to really see, but you'll have to break through the ice to get to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Hopefully with the help of my Astra arm to shut that out. So yeah, he's just gonna start pummeling into the ice, trying to.
Yes, roll for your
Kinda break
attack
it.
and the damage.
Okay.
It's a really good
That
thing you
is,
can breathe. This would have been way more. Dirty 20?
20.
Very good. Absolutely hits. Roll for your damage.
Damage.
Adding anything that the astral arms give you, of course.
Yeah. There we go. That's max damage. That is 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other moves? Do you have other...
I have flurry of blows, so I'll just do it again. I'll spend the key point and attack 2 more times.
The ice, under the strength of your blows, does start to crack.
Does a 15 and a 17 hit.
Good. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Those absolutely hit.
And that is gonna be that's 16 damage.
Very good. Total with the 9 from before, or is this just another 16?
Oh, another 16.
Very good.
With the flurry of blows.
You feel like this rush of energy is coming through you. And your arms, while you are guiding them, seem to have strength that is not just your own. As you start to pierce through the ice and you see the cracks starting to widen. With that first crack, the first few cracks that you make, however, the roots around you start to move. And they start to shift and writhe. And above the water, the wraiths start to move more erratically. And the branches of the tree start to creak as if it were in pain. Some of the roots start to wrap around you, Eorad. Roll a dexterity saving throw, and then another attack. You are breaking through the ice, however.
Okay. First dexterity saving throw. That's a 22. Yeah, 22 for dex save.
Yep.
And for the attack, that's a 25.
Yes. Yes. So do as you will. Continue to break through that ice with each punch that is going through. Now, as the attack has continued, the rays are starting to move towards Lady Vervain again.
9 damage.
9 damage. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And you know what, I might as well, I want to do flurry of blows again. So do 2 more attacks. So that's a 18 and a dirty 20.
Yes. These are good rolls. Yes.
Yeah, really good. While Eorad's doing that, can I do a nature or insight on the race, just to see if they're becoming malevolent or something?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and roll.
14 damage, by the way.
14. Very good. Man, your flurry of blows, man. Okay.
Yeah, it's just 2 unarmed attacks and it's very useful.
With each impact, the cracks grow deeper, and at this point, you're seeing chunks of ice start to come loose. You think with just a couple of more good hits, you can reach in, and you see now that it's this dark, twisted type of metal. And in the center of these legs, this strange spider-like contraption, this device, there's a glowing crystal, almost like an eye, right in the base of it.
Eorad doesn't know what this is, but Drak does.
You do?
I mean, we've come across it at the very least.
Yeah.
He's just going to keep...
Whatever do you mean?
Bubblegum knows exactly what it is.
I told you there was a crossover.
I'm just gonna punch it.
Yeah, you're punching the spider thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's gonna punch it.
Go for it. Roll for that. And as you're rolling for that and tallying up the hit and the damage, Bomb, go ahead and roll your insight check.
A 14.
14. The rays are acting confused.
Okay.
The only thing that they are seemingly moving towards now are Lady Vervain. And at this point, with this simultaneous, of course you guys don't know this, but Eorad, as soon as your fist makes impact with this spider thing, the roots writhe even more. They're wrapping around you, attempting to crush you in. It's almost like when you're trying to remove a thorn or fix or trying to heal a wounded creature. The immediate instinct is to withdraw and to lash out. That is how the roots are behaving now. And above the water, the rays are now grasping at Lady Vervain, at her robes, at her cloak, and are attempting to pull her away. They're starting to behave more violently now, and some of them are starting to drift towards the water's edge, where Eorad dove in. Eorad, how do you roll for striking the spider thing?
I rolled a 14.
A 14?
Is that hit?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That's 6 damage.
6 damage. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It doesn't cause damage, but one of the legs starts to twitch and start to loosen. You think that if you try hard enough, you might be able to pry it away. But punching it farther, because you see the way the legs are sunken in and gripping into it, punching it may not be the thing.
In that case, I'm going to try and pull it out.
Okay.
With the help of my astral arms. I want to grab onto it and have the Wanderer grab on as well and just try and pull.
Roll for your strength with the advantages that you would have.
The built-in advantage of using my astral arms for this is that I get to roll wisdom instead.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It is wisdom.
Nice.
So I can use that. And that is... Oh, I thought it was a 1 for a second. I got worried. It was an 11 plus... Hold on. 11 plus... Or 15.
15 total?
Yeah.
Not quite enough. You're straining and you're pulling, and at this point, you've been down there long enough. I need you to roll another Constitution saving throw as well, as you're straining against trying to avoid the roots that are now lashing out around you and shifting and attempting to crush, but you're in kind of a cranny now. 15?
15.
Okay, the ice does not get to you yet. However, above water now, you'll have to roll another strength check to try to pry this free. Above water, are you doing anything? The rays are now trying to pull Aralai away, and her hands break contact with the ice, and she cries out almost as if in pain. 2 of the other rays are at the water's edge now, starting to sink down below the surface towards Eorad. Are you doing anything to stop this?
I'm making a move towards the wraiths at the edge of the water.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Shape Water.
Oh.
You freeze a section of water instantaneously.
Okay.
So that section that they're climbing into, I'm just gonna instantly freeze
Okay.
before they climb in.
So it
The
doesn't
surface.
seem as though they can phase through things necessarily.
If they can, they can. Let's try
Yeah.
it anyway. Yeah.
But it definitely seems to be of a hindrance
Just
to
a
them.
Cinnabomb. Kind of freeze it instantly.
Okay. Okay. So now they will start to move towards who is closest to them. Probably Marlowe. They're acting very erratically now. And Aralai is trying to struggle against them to get back to the heart. You guys just gonna leave her there?
I mean, I figured someone would go for her.
I mean, I'm just so frantically looking up a spell that I can use.
Poor
to,
Aralai!
attempt to fix this.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
that's okay, that's okay.
Well, I didn't actually move when I cast the spell, so I'm literally right next to her.
Okay.
Kendis is right there too. Kendis hasn't moved.
Yeah.
So this is the stage now where, now that you've cast a spell and they have torn Aralai down, we'll say you are in some. We'll say this is an adjusted combat scenario. You're not necessarily rolling initiative, but the rays are moving, and you would need to do
Seem hostile.
something. Yeah. Eorad, what did you roll?
I rolled a 17.
A 17? That's better. That's better. So you pull even harder, and 2 more of the legs pop free. Dexterity saving throw to avoid the roots around you.
You could have those dirty 20.
Dang, man! That wormwood is
monk.
working well for you. All right, you're able to avoid them again, and you're able to shift yourself, almost using the spider as a pivot point through the water, right as a section of the roots crushed down on the spot where you were. That would have definitely hurt. So you're able to continue to pull. Do one more strength roll for me. You have weakened the grip a bit more.
That is a dirty 20 again.
Okay. Almost using the momentum from the force of the water as it's shifted by these roots moving around you, you're able to pull and twist, and you're able to pry it free. And for a moment, the legs are moving frantically, grasping. And you see sap pouring from these open wounds that it caused in the roots. And up above, the wraiths let out this shriek as they pull away from Aralai, and they start to move as if, you know how bees will kind of swarm and fly very erratically? They start to shriek and move in that sort of manner all around you. Eorad, you try to go back up to the surface?
Not
What do
yet.
you do? Okay.
I'm pretty sure, they can interact with physical things. So I want to hand the this mechanical spider to the Wanderer to hold for a moment.
Oh,
'cause it
yes,
might feel-
yes.
Yeah. So I just kind of hand it over and just see I think this is the most defined the Wanderer has ever been, which is funny because no one else is here to see it.
Right? Right?
So basically, I don't think I've actually described what a Wanderer looks like, but it legitimately looks like a traveling kind of merchant. Their color scheme is like purpley blues, almost like a nebula, and they're fairly translucent. But if you look closely, you can see outlines and details. And they have freckles, but there's freckles. If you look closely, it actually looks like little stars around his cheeks and stuff like that.
That's cool.
And they just kind of hold onto the spider, and Eor's gonna go towards this root that is bleeding sap at this point. And this is a bit of a stretch, but I have a feature called it's part of Tasha's code and everything. It's like ability that monks have called Quickened Healing.
Ah.
They can spend 2 key points to heal themselves, but I would like to use it to heal the roots to at least seal up these wounds.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So you're okay. So describe how this works.
Is
this you using your key?
Yes.
All right.
So I think he kind of swims over to the root, and I think this is all coming from how he remembers that Tashi said that he was similar to a spring. He seems to be what made him different from the other sentinels and guardians that they built, and that maybe if he can give a little bit of himself, it will be compatible with this spring as well.
Okay.
So he's trying to just push as much. I guess he doesn't know what the concept of energy is. Like, he doesn't feel like he has any energy or magic or anything, but just like tries to push a bit of himself in to try and heal this over. And unless you want me, you can maybe roll something. The actual ability, I just spent 2 key points, but I could also roll if you want.
So you're spending these key points and you're focusing. And you're thinking back to what Tashi said. You lay your hands directly on the wounds of this root system. And you start to focus. You start to feel this warmth from the roots after the first few minutes pass. Around this time, the raves above will stop moving. Roll a wisdom check for me.
That is a 18.
That's very good.
Wait, no, 17. Sorry, math.
That's still good. That's still good. As you focus in, that warmth seems to surround you. It seems to be emanating from this connection between your hands and the roots of this tree. And the runes all along your forearms, across your body, begin to glow faintly, and then stronger. You're not able to move your hands from the roots, not that you're necessarily trying, but you focus more and more, thinking back to all of these questions that you've had in the past about the Wanderer, about why you were different, why Tashi was so focused on trying to teach you and help you learn and to open your eyes. And in this moment, you do open your eyes. As you are sitting there, your hands still connected with the roots, and the runes flash, illuminating the light around you. Up top, you see beneath the ice this bright, brilliant flash of light, and the ice above on the water's surface cracks, shatters, and begins to open away. The wraiths fall still and begin to form more of a ring around the island. Eorad, you feel this energy pulsing through you that you have never felt before. Although you're underwater, you inhale. You bring this light within you. And it's almost as if for the first time you can taste the freshness and the crispness of the water around you. But it's more than just the senses of your immediate surroundings. You can feel your arms stretching out as if they were the branches of the tree itself. You feel or you taste the freshness of the warming soil, as if you could feel it yourself, the melting frost on the leaves. You exhale, and you can feel the branches above relaxing. Warmth spreading all through. And above the three of you, see frost beginning to melt on the tree. Eorad, the Wanderer, is there with you as well. Arms seeming to help to cover your own. The light, the warmth of this starts to make you feel shaky. It starts to feel like it's too much energy to bear, as if you are being filled, almost bursting with this energy, with this force. And you feel the heart of the spring pulsing, like a heart that was resuscitated, now beginning to beat again. In the back of your mind, you hear a voice, a child's voice, one that was mixed with that of Aralai's on the surface when she was crying for help. It's Elena. Thank you. You move your hands away and you see, while there is still some bubbles of sap floating in the water, that the root has been healed. And there's a layer of light now spread across the entire root system itself. You rise out of the water. You are drawn to the surface, to the tree. All of you can see Eorad emerging from the surface of the lake now, the runes glowing, his eyes shining. That light that was emanating from beneath was emanating from him. You walk up directly to the tree, Eorad, and put a hand, both you and Wanderer, put a hand on the frozen heart, which is now beginning to melt and thaw. And you can see within the eyes of Elena open, brilliant green looking directly into your own. In your head, again, you hear, your spirit is so bright. You've healed the bond. Thank you.
I'm glad I could help.
This connection you bear by channeling your energy. I fear you may be bound to the spring now as I am. You have become the conduit to bring life back to the tree, back to the spring. I'm sorry, but I thank you.
He just kind of nods and lowers his hand.
Was that only to Eorad? Like no one else heard that?
You could not hear the voice, no. But you see green returning to the leaves. The frost is melting. And the once shadowy forms around you, they begin to glow in unison. The dark shrouds fall away like dead leaves to reveal once more the projected forms of Elena. Aralai picks herself up and cries out in relief and joy, you don't know what necessarily. But the forms then begin to move to encircle you, Eorad, the light building in brilliance until you have to shield your eyes. The runes inscribed on your forearms still glowing, and your astral arms multiply and outstretch. The forms then dissipate again around you and into the tree. And Elena breathes again. The ice is melting more rapidly now. Warmth emanates now, like a warm summer breeze, from the tree, hitting all of you, and out across the lake as the ice begins to crack and shift. Not disappearing, but definitely breaking across the lake. The wraiths have now disappeared. Aralai gets up and looks at you with tears in her eyes, looks at all of you, but rests on you again. I think this is the first time we've ever had dual guardians of this spring.
I suppose it's better to have a friend help. It seems like a bit of a burden.
I still may not know what brought you here, Eorad the Wanderer. But it looks like we may be needing your help a little longer. This is the first I've heard of this happening, but perhaps the stars have aligned and it means that you must stay here within Glenfarra.
Eorad kind of like looks in basically the direction of the Wanderer that's been attached to him and just kind of asks,
Your whole thing seems to be wondering, are you okay with staying?
The Wanderer smiles. And in that voice again. Oh, you think the adventure is stopping here? And that is where we will end.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. That was so
Crikey.
tense.
That was incredible.
That was awesome.
That's so good. Oh.
Nice. I was so like immersed.
Captivated, that was. Captivating. You two, that was amazing role playing. Oh man.
That was awesome.
So, welcome Eorad, a fellow guardian of the spring.
yeah.
Guardians.
A conduit.
Eorad's
even.
put roots down, you could say.
Oh, snap! So, in case those of you who are watching may not have picked up on this, this, unfortunately, is where Eorad will be staying now. We are very sorry to say that Eorad is not going to be continuing with the party. Our dear friend Drak here is moving on to bigger and better things, to create even more stories to spread through the plains. And we could not be more proud of him. We could not be happier for him. But this is the farewell episode for Eorad and Drak for now.
Not forever.
Not forever.
Yeah,
Drak
for
will
now.
return. Drak will return.
Yeah. But I just need some free time, honestly. Just time for self-care, I suppose, honestly.
Self-care is important. You've got to heal those roots.
All important.
Exactly.
I wasn't expecting you to deal with the roots right then and there.
Yeah, no, because I remembered, I just remembered I looked through my sheet and I was like, okay, maybe I
Was
could
perfect.
do that.
Ooh.
That's too good. That we've
That's-
definitely encountered, but haven't encountered that
Yeah.
in another life.
That was awesome. That was
This
so
seems
awesome.
familiar, but strange
really-
all at once.
I didn't pick up on it when you described it, and then Rich reacted. I was like, Rich
Yeah,
reacted. You know, wait, I should know this. Oh, and then I realized they clicked after that.
Mm. That was genius. That was such a genius little callback. What an amazing send off. Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's
That
so
was pretty
organic.
awesome.
It's so organic.
That concludes chapter 1
Oh
of
man.
Heroes of
Does
Iyastera.
Squirrel stay there with Eorad?
Yeah.
We'll have to go visit him.
I think the
Squirrel's like
squirrel will
light in his
probably
eyes.
want to stay. And now there's an
Yeah.
even bigger and more beautiful tree to store
Yeah.
acorns in.
True. It's the ultimate tree, isn't it?
And that's the mother tree, the literal mothership tree. And that's where you segue into this all being a holodeck, and we're going sci-fi now.
That would really just that would be too much.
That would be too much. I don't think I'm ready for that kind of like
I love that,
transition.
So, like I remember, I did a while ago. I did a podcast where it was like a one shot, but the one shot was part of a campaign. So the one shot was actually someone in the campaign reading a story.
Oh,
so
I
it
love
was like a
that.
completely different genre.
Oh,
but
I love that
It
idea.
started off with them like sitting down, opening up a book, and then it just dives into the one shot, which ends up being the story that they're reading to the main character.
that's cool.
Oh, it's like Jim Henson's The Storyteller.
Oh man, I
Oh
love it.
yes!
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Watched it the other day. That's so good.
Very nice.
Rewatched it.
So, thank you, Eorad.
Mm.
Thank you, Drak. In terms of the story now, of course, we'll pick up there next time. But Eorad now has a new purpose, a new role. After wandering and learning and being away from home and trying to learn more about this forest, as you were as soon as you entered Glenfarra. Obviously, we didn't know that this would be a farewell until recently, but in hindsight, things seemed to fall into place very nicely to lead to this moment. So, yeah, we'll see what that means.
Yeah.
It seems like while the other guardian, the first guardian, recovers, you may have to help out a little bit. But Eorad is now part of the mother tree itself and part of the spring.
What a amazing sacrifice. Thank you, Eorad.
So,
Yeah.
even removing that spider, there would have had to be something to jumpstart that connection to the spring again. You've removed the invasive, object, but the healing still needed to happen, and you did so directly. So well done. I'm glad you remembered that that skill. I had even forgotten about it. I rely on you guys to know your skills.
Yeah, no, Tasha's added some really cool things.
Yeah, right.
Usually I'm only allowed to heal myself, but I was like, would have cool, please?
Yeah. Scriv's always going to allow little modifications, aren't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It works.
In the name of a good story, then
Yeah, in the
worked.
name of the narrative.
And you are connecting with a source, a spring source itself. So there's some extra goodness in there in that sap. So yeah. That is the end of chapter 1. So we're going to take the next couple of weeks to kind of reflect on that. We do not have a new player chosen yet. Perhaps we will, perhaps we won't for the next session, but either way we will be back in a couple of weeks with chapter 2. The beginning of chapter 2 now.
Nice.
A new
The mother
mystery.
tree is beginning to heal. Well, now you've got
Who
to figure out what this
planted
spider
the
thing
spider
is.
did. Who planted it? Who's it from?
I don't know. You guys figure it out. I don't know
Well.
anything.
I'm going straight back to my picture books in the library.
Oh yeah. Yay,
So-
the study group continues.
Oh my goodness. See, that's really why
Yay.
Eorad was like, nah, I'm out.
I'm out.
Too much
These
research. I'm
nerds.
done with that. I left the Athenium for a
feel like
reason.
it.
This is boring. But as an NPC, I believe Eorad will still be there. So you guys can technically go and kind of visit and talk. But that is where we're going to close out the episode for today. So, any announcements, any thoughts, anything you'd like to share around the table?
So, Inspirals is working with one of the most prominent deaf BSL tutors in the country.
Yes. Yes.
and they're consulting on the deaf culture, deaf language, and deaf awareness for the game. So that's pretty exciting. It's one big thing this week.
That's fantastic. That is such a huge. That's a success.
Yeah.
That's
I
going to
love
help so much with just
Yeah,
being
it's
able to
deep.
share this wonderful game, this experience you've created with even more people.
Yeah, it's great. Really happy with that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think I still stream a lot.
Yeah, tell us
do
these
you? Do you
wonderful
now?
things.
I think you can just follow me on Twitter for everything else. That's, on Twitter at Draconics, and that's DRAKONIQUES. That's the thing I'm really excited about. Well, two things I'm really excited about. One, tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern on Q Times, going to be the premiere of a new Pathfinders campaign that I'm going to be in called Parliament of Owls, which is an evil
love
campaign.
that
So I'll be playing a
name.
villain. I'll be playing a villain Dhampir sorcerer. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the second thing I'm really excited about is I kind of mentioned before, I'm the co-founder and the event organizer of Friends for Dice, and we are organizing a charity event in March. And we don't know what we're going to be raising money for, mainly because we're part of a Twitch stream team, and we're going to be doing a team-wide charity event, and we just haven't decided on what it's going to be. And Friends for Dice being a TTRPG channel, it takes a bit longer for us to organize our stuff because we have to schedule a bunch of people to play D&D basically, or TTRPGs. So we signed the application stuff early before you decide on a charity. But there's a player call out right now on my Twitch account, my Twitter account, and on Friends Roll Dice Twitter account, which is just Friends Roll Dice on Twitter. And you can just sign up to be in a one shot for charity. We've got like over 100 people applying, which is wild because we only could have space for like 16 players. So like it's gonna be saying no to quite a few people, so I'm a bit nervous about that. But please do try and apply. We want to see we're going to try and get as many new faces and old friends and new friends on the channel as possible. So please do. It'll be for a good cause, I promise.
Helping
that's
people.
pretty much it.
Helping people out there in the community and beyond. Very good.
Exactly. And there's another thing, third thing. I'm going to be also on Friends Roll Dice for another charity event. On the 20th of September, we're going to be doing a level 20 D&D one shot. It's going to be a ton of fun, very wild. We're going to be raising money for Breast Cancer Network Australia. Australia, because a friend of ours who's also part of the Twitch stream team, the whole story is that they're okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word because it's not a bad word, but it's also not. Hold on, let me just let me put in the Zoom chat.
Don't get cancelled.
I'm so curious about what this is. What?
Yeah, what is this? What is this?
I put the word in. Am I allowed to say that?
I mean,
What's the context?
yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the concept. Okay, the username was Roach this word, and then they became partnered and
Oh, if that's-
affiliated.
Yeah.
And then
Is that still their username?
Not anymore, because that's the story actually. It used to be called I know it's good. They used to be called that Roach that word, and then and then Twitch was like, yeah, that's
Oh,
great.
people are
sure.
going to be like watching this, like, what the heck? What's the word?
Yeah,
Hey, you remember what kind of bird Kendis is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go.
Yeah, so
go.
yeah, they were called Roach and that word, and then Twitch was like, yeah, that's fine, that's cool. Well, we accept that username.
Roach Toots.
Yes, but replace the
Change
O
the
with-
vowel.
Yeah,
We won't say it because Twitch is not
Yeah,
happy with
Twitch
that
is-
word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Twitch was like, yeah,
Toots.
that's a great name. Sure, fine, we're gonna let you have it. Then she became affiliated and partnered, and she had like a whole branding around this name. And all of a sudden, midstream, Twitch was like, we're banning your account. And she found out
Oh.
asked why, and it's because apparently
no.
because the username, which she's had for like 2 years or something like that.
That's
So which is
kind
kind
of
of unfair.
That's kind
building
of
a whole,
rubbish.
letting you build your whole career on this name and
Brand
taking
around
away
it.
from you.
Yeah.
So after a lot of petitioning on Twitter, everyone added Twitch's account, and they basically let her have her account back, but she had to change her name.
Mm-hmm. So
Her
what's
name's
the
now
new name?
Roachzilla.
Ah, Roachzilla.
And
Okay.
In a
It's a
way
little more
to
family
get,
friendly.
yeah, in a way to get back, and not get back, but like in a way to divert that energy in a positive way, she decided that, hey, Twitch hates. I can say breasts. Twitch hates breasts. We're gonna save breasts instead. So she decided to
For breast cancer. Ah, for breast cancer
Yeah,
research.
get you, man.
breast
Excellent.
cancer research.
See
And
that?
she's Australian, so she's doing it for the Australian.
That's
breast
fantastic.
cancer. And
Well,
we wanted to
that
help.
will be a worthy cause then.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So please come, cause chaos. There's going to be donation goals of
Cause
giving advantages,
chaos.
obviously, disadvantage, but also there's going to be wild magic surges that you can pay for every
Whoa.
character. And we have
Whoa.
wild surge tables for each class as well. So it's going to be class specific.
Mhm.
So please donate, cause
Nice.
chaos. It's going to be a lot of fun and all for a good cause. And that's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern on the 20th of February.
Okay.
That's me.
Excellent. This is why Eorad had to leave.
Yeah.
Because he's out there making the world a better place. Both in-game and IRL. Excellent. Jenn and Sash, what do you guys have? I need to get one of you on stream with me next week, or both.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd hang out. I got time. Let's do
Chill
it.
creation.
Yeah.
You want to talk about pastries and the magical things that they can do?
That sounds amazing. Let's do it.
Oh my
Okay,
god!
maybe we can talk granola.
Yes,
Really
absolutely.
granola's really
Granola
great
needs to be
ingredient.
okay. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
I'm
talk
actually off next
granola
Thursday as well.
and pastries
not
next
working
Tuesday.
Thursday.
Hey, all of you, if you guys are free next Tuesday for Chill Creation stream, it'll be a little bit earlier than when this one started. Yeah, we know, Eorad. You're a guardian now.
God,
It's okay, we love you. You know we do.
I know.
But I guess with that little bit, next Chill Creation stream is going to be a continuation of the Pastrymancer collection, which has now become a proper collection of
That's the
content.
thing.
And remember
didn't
how
you
that
start-
started with the
It started the
cake,
cake thing, right? Yeah.
Yes, with the horrible cake thing, and we
The cake trend where you
agree,
think everything is
Drak.
cake, yeah.
Yeah, that everything is cake. And Drak and I on Twitter were like, this is chaotic evil. This is a
Yeah,
chaotic
100%.
evil baker to take something that looks like a steak covered in gravy and is actually cake. So
God, that
that's
reminds me,
what spawned, what engendered this spark of inspiration for a pastrymancer, which has become the Baker's Guild, which has become pastry mimics. I have a pastrymancer's whisk as the wand that the head pastrymancer, Zavid Halem, uses as part of the Baker's Guild. And there's a one-shot now. But as part of that one-shot, we need to develop some more magic items. So next Tuesday, we're going to be developing the Baker's Dozen, which is an assortment of different pastries that provide different arcane effects. And hopefully I'll be joined by some of the heroes around the table here, and we'll talk some NPCs as well. I think Granola, Gnome Lola, NPC, which Jen and I started creating during the Scribbler Hug charity event leading up to the holidays, which seems so long ago now.
Yeah.
Granola is a baker, so I think there might be some crossover, some integration here. Yeah.
I realized because one of my friends, it's weird I can call her a friend, but Abria, one of my friends, she made in the game she was GMing, she has a magic knife called a cake knife, and basically everything you cut with the knife turns into cake.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one. I've heard that one.
She had
That's amazing.
She immediately had to put the disclaimer of it can't be an organic living
Yeah.
material,
Right.
because immediately they're
That would be
chaotic group. They're like,
horrible.
I'm gonna stab someone.
Yeah.
You are no cake! That's horrible. Okay, well I think I've been through my announcements for next week. Chill Creation on Tuesday, Baker's Dozen Pastrymancing goodness, and then some sort of gaming stream next Thursday. We'll keep it nice and chill. But yes, and any other announcements before
Jen
we?
is doing everything.
Jen is doing everything.
Next week is the last session of the Star Trek Adventures miniseries I'm in,
Whoa.
which is on Make Believe Live, I believe the channel is called. I've been on that channel for 3 sessions. I still don't know what it's called. It's fine. And I've got my Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign next Thursday.
That's
I've done
awesome.
various art things.
Lots of art things, most
Lots
of
of
which
art.
you probably can't say. Yeah. Fine. 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 And Sash, Spirit Jam.
Yeah, literally nothing. As usual, yay! It's all good.
Except coming to write with
Um,
me again.
Yeah, that is going to be fun. So I'll be around next week with Scriv, which will be super fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just living life. Whatever, man. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Creating lovely
That's
works
it.
of art, creating stories, and being a
Very
hero of
very
Iyastera. No, it's good. It's all good.
Yeah, you know, I'm going through my own stuff. I'm just getting by, dealing with my
Oh,
stuff. It's
Aren't
fine.
we all?
It's fine.
Yeah.
cheers
right,
to
right.
that. Oh
Hell
man.
yeah.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
why I
dealing
enjoy
with my stuff.
sitting around the virtual table with you guys. You guys are good friends, and this is very fun. It's more
This is
relaxing
very
for me possibly than it is for you.
Yeah, I don't know. My heart rate was going up during that whole healing.
Was it really?
So I don't know about relaxing. Yeah, I was like, like.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was lucky because I knew. Was that okay? No, we talk about this after.
Yeah. I think it's time for us to go to the video again, which we're gonna have to change now.
Oh no.
That's okay. We'll figure something out. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again for Chapter 1, Episode 6 of The Heroes of Iyastera. We're going to title this one Eorad the Guardian. And we will see you next time. But in the meantime, keep adventuring, keep scribbling, and have a wonderful day. We love you, scribblers.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
I